I'm truly delighted to welcome you today to workshop at CAMERIMAGE, the light that thinks AI in service of cinematic imagination. I am very grateful for the opportunity to share what we do at Veles and to talk about experience regarding the world of the new technologies and creative tools. And now let me introduce our guest, Jarosław Żamojda, Martn Demmer, Martynian Rozwadowski. My name is Dorota Zwierzchowska. I am COO of Veles Productions.
Volumetric recording, that's my topic to transmit to you today. A lot of people, when I'm asked what I'm doing and then I'm mentioning volumetric recording, the first reaction is they take the word volumetric and take it, combine it to virtual production like the volume. And it's not the volume, it's not a virtual production recording technique, it's a human-focused recording technique like a dome around a human performer, and that we can bring human performance with all the details and micro-expressions actually into game engines like Unity or Unreal. So that's my mission today to you, and I would like to underline a little bit what it is and what it is not. So I made a cheat for you that you actually, like, if you want, you can keep it for you as a photo to reminder what it is not. It's not an avatar-driven recording technique. It's not for puppeteering. It's for real human performance. If it happens that they are in the lower picture, there is a rig applied into the volumetric recording. Mostly or mainly, it's used for optimization reasons. As you can imagine, game engine performances are based mainly on how many triangles and polygons and textures are used in the game engine, and as less you have, as higher performances are capable. And so the rig in a volumetric recording is used for having an area to identify, for example, the face or the hands, and then you can say the face and the hands are higher meshed and having a higher density of triangles, and the rest is more low poly, and you apply the texture and you have a more or less good looking recording technique. The bigger studios, they are achieving the classical approach, like in photogrammetry and movement. What is this mesh-based technique with an amount of, let's say, around 50 to up to 100 cameras for the photogrammetry approach. And but there is already a way that you can achieve a similar result when it comes to the 6DoF XR for XR spatial storytelling. When it comes to VR, it's a different medium, it's a different way that the audience accepts certain kind of quality attached to a human asset, because when you really meet in VR and volumetric recorded asset, like a performance of a human actor, then you really you have the feeling of reality, even when it would have flaws or even like a texture spread or whatever. You still would feel that, oh, I'm observing here a human instead of an animated character or something like this. So I have this technique is capable only to be done already by 10 cameras, for example. So this recording I did at my home in my office with 10 cameras, no cinema lighting, no kind of anything, and it's hyper compressed, capable of being used for storytelling with human performance, for AR. For example, I had a conversation with a producer on Gdynia Film Festival, and he told me his story, and that there are the two main characters. They're meeting. A lot of the story happens in one flat, and I was like, have you ever considered that you maybe take one scene out of your 2D film, you scan your flat in which the main performance of this film is happening, and you take a tiny scene between. Let me look. What is the next? I can leave this up because there's an error that this was. So I told him, you could scan your location, take 2 actors, take 1 scene out of it, and you could make an AR promotional effect for your 2D movie to attract a different audience, like the younger audience who now grow up on 3D web platforms and they are running around in all this. I don't want to name all these companies, and but I think you know what I'm talking about. So they are more attracted by 3D content, and so you can take 2D storytelling and use certain tools to bring either as a marketing effect, or you have an entire story for VR scanned and worked with real human performance. For example, I'm often using the quote of or what does it mean, quote, there's a scene with Bill Murray in the film Scrooge, in the Christmas Story, and there's the ghost of the actual Christmas. There's the Christmas past, the now Christmas, and the Christmas future, and Bill Murray and the actor are visiting his brother in his flat of the brother, and Bill Murray is witnessing, like an invisible ghost, the scene of the brother, how they are playing a game, and what kind of gift he's getting from Bill. And this is somehow how I imagine the future of how you could imagine to work with volumetric video and VR, that you could bring your audience inside of the room where the performance happens. So there have been a study conducted in 2023, only the US market, what is at the moment the biggest market for volumetric video. Europe is a little bit behind, and Asia is as well going bigger and bigger, especially now since 4D Gaussian splatting, or Gaussian splatting anyway, arrived in 23 the market. So there is a kind of a race happening on a lot of Chinese universities who has the most advanced code of it. So the predictions are like that the market will grow from 2.5 billion US dollar to 20 billion US dollar around, and so it's a market growth to 2023. And yeah, we will see if it happens or not, and where this recording format and the way of working with human performances will lead us. I have an example, what I unleashed last week as a test of my kind of tiny home experiments. And we see here an asset from somehow the main figure of the Gaussian splat community, Michael Rubloff, who have been recorded in the UK in a really advanced studio with 176 cams. And we see on the other side what I tried to achieve at my home with my 10 cams, and I only used 8 cams. And the compare should kind of show that we as cinematographers actually, if we pre-plan where the audience is in a VR context, we could already achieve with a way less amount of cameras and result what if you keep your audience or pre-plan your audience to be in a certain position, then from this certain position I made an array of 8 cameras around in my chest height. So if the audience would be with their visual perception there, and of course ideally it would be a little bit higher on eye level, then this recording would perform kind of good. But when you leave the area of your camera array, the recording falls apart. So of course I cannot beat a studio what invests like €1 million for equipment and has 176 cameras that you can be close to every kind of position of this recorded character. But I wanted to show that even with this tiny amount of cameras, what we as cinematographers are maybe in cinema productions are capable of getting from the rental, we could already achieve for certain use cases or whatever we have in mind to achieve with that. Here we see the back, as I didn't have any camera in the back, so in the back was kind of a mess and noise. And when you are completely out of the used or the ideal direction of the camera, then the recording falls apart. So yeah, I wanted to give this as an example and show you that we can go this road even without the monstrous studios already. But of course, the monstrous studios are using it now. For example, it have been used for a Wednesday production. This character, the head of the performer, who is in the glass jar, was a Gaussian splat volumetric recording. In Superman, in the latest Superman film, they have used it for the parents of Superman, and they're like in kind of a hologram situation. And it has been used by a major company from Hollywood for Aquaman 1 and 2, and then they bring this more or less into the VFX workflows. But I tried with this example to motivate and get you aware that there is something what we can use for future storytelling, either in location-based entertainment, on streets. We can work with theatrical performers and bring storytelling on different places where you're normally not used to have it. The Olympics did this year. The last Olympics, they tried with volumetric recording, that you have little castings from the performers. Then we have it happening in the fashion industry, that they adapt runways into that. Music videos, where it's now used, and somehow the capabilities of these new recording techniques have a wide application range. But you have to be aware and you have to inform yourself, and you can tackle this even as an individual and for a certain project of yours.
Thank you, Martin. Now, Martynian.
Maybe and there's my contact if you want to get to know more about this kind of stuff. I have tons of examples, and I have my VR headset with me. We can even look to certain applications, what I downloaded for you, and we can have a look to either mesh-based recording stuff or Gaussians. And reach out to me. I'm more than happy to answer you whatever you want to know about this new way of recording and working with this kind of assets.
And now I gave the floor to Jarek, who will talk about the challenges and opportunities posed by AI tools based on his latest production I mentioned before. But at the beginning, I would like to present something what we did last week. It's a very fresh production. It's produced only with the AI tools.
Since the beginning, we have searched for ways to understand the world. Every tool we created opened new horizons. It expanded our senses. Brought us closer. Until we gathered more knowledge. Than we could comprehend. That is why we are creating one that doesn't replace us, but empowers us. What we create becomes a part of us. Connecting intuition with knowledge. Opening doors to a world. We are only beginning to understand. AI, our new sense. With it, we can embark on another journey. To rediscover ourselves.
Yeah, the sound was doubled, but sorry for that. I don't know why, but
Jarek is a director of this short movie, so maybe I give him a floor.
Raz, dwa. Dzień dobry, będę mówił po polsku, ale mam kolegę, który będzie to tłumaczył.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I will be speaking Polish, but I have a voice that will do the English translation for me. AI.
To, co się wydarzyło na ekranie, to jest rzecz nagminna, kiedy zbliżamy się do czegoś nowego. 2 lata temu pojawiło się w przestrzeni publicznej takie ujęcie zrobione przez Sorę. Dziewczyna szła, zdaje się, ulicą w Tokio i wszyscy oniemieli, że to zostało wygenerowane przez maszyny liczące.
What you have seen is something that happens often when we come to something that is new. About 2 years ago, there was a video published with a lady in Tokyo just walking, and everybody were in awe that it was generated by AI.
Pierwsze moje wrażenie było takie, że no wreszcie mamy narzędzie, dzięki któremu możemy prosto od scenariusza przejść do kina i że od razu wystarczy, że podamy to, czego oczekujemy i zobaczymy na ekranie gotowy utwór.
My first impression was, wow, we finally have this magic tool that lets us go directly from a script to a cinema that we'll put on the data and finish and see the final product.
Jestem po 5 miesiącach pracy z zespołem 12 osób po to, żeby zrealizować film fabularny, który docelowo będzie miał 80 minut. I chciałem się z wami podzielić moimi pierwszymi spostrzeżeniami, zanim będzie można obejrzeć to na ekranie.
I'm after 5 months of work with a team of 12 people on the beginning of something that is supposed to be an 80-minute long film, and I would like to share my experiences about it with you.
Pewnie większość z was podjęła decyzję, żeby robić filmy, ponieważ macie jakiś cel wewnętrzny, prawda? Chcielibyście wykorzystać takie pojęcie motion picture i prezentować coś interesującego na ekranie. Ale samo słowo motion picture w moim rozumieniu ma 2 sensy.
I bet every one of you, when you decided to make films by yourself, you had a goal within you and you wanted to use this so-called motion picture to express you in a way. But for me, motion picture has 2 meanings.
Jeden to są obrazki, które się ruszają, a drugie znaczenie to jest to, w jaki sposób jesteśmy w stanie poruszyć emocje widzów.
One of them is simply pictures that move on the screen, and the second is the way how we can move the spectator, move the viewer.
Historia kina zaczyna się od popisów cyrkowych, od bardzo wygimnastykowanych aktorów, którzy drogą selekcji zaczęli proponować nową formę opowiadania. Przez lata język kina się rozwijał i dzisiaj doszliśmy do sytuacji, w której albo mamy możliwość zatrudnienia bardzo dobrych, bardzo drogich, w bardzo drogich produkcjach aktorów.
Throughout the centuries, the language of cinema was changing. At the beginning, it was very circus-like with actors that are good in gymnastics, but of course it evolved over the years, and now we're in a state that we can hire the absolute best actors, the most expensive ones.
Albo zaczynając naszą przygodę z kinem, dostajemy narzędzie, które pozwoli nam opowiadać świat, który na nas robi wrażenie, w taki sposób, żebyśmy też mogli poruszyć widzów, którzy ten utwór będą chcieli obejrzeć, ten, który my opowiemy.
Or we get a tool that, especially at the beginning of our cinematic journey, let us move the spectator in a way that we planned from the very beginning using the special tool.
Pierwszym wrażeniem po pracy tych wielomiesięcznych zmagań z AI, moja pierwsza refleksja jest taka, że najważniejsza decyzja, zanim zaczniemy myśleć o własnym filmie, zanim napiszemy pierwsze słowo fade in, to jest myślenie o tym, w jaki sposób chcemy opowiadać i jakie narzędzie dostajemy do ręki.
After those months of my first experiences, I think that the absolute most important thing when working with this tool is the decision we have to make as of how do we want to use this tool and how do we want to tell our story.
Pisząc scenariusz, najczęściej nie tylko debiutujący scenarzyści, ale też bardzo doświadczeni scenarzyści przerzucają całą odpowiedzialność i cały ciężar opowieści na barki głównych bohaterów, aktorów, którzy starają się swoimi emocjami, swoim zaangażowaniem w historię być nośnikiem emocji, które scenarzysta próbuje przekazać za pomocą dostępnych środków filmowych, ale środek ciężkości spoczywa na aktorach.
When writing the script, most screenwriters these days rely heavily on actors and their possibility of showcasing the emotions that the screenwriter has in mind to the viewer.
W przypadku AI, tego narzędzia, które pojawia się i które się rozwija, nie możemy liczyć na to, dlatego że AI nie potrafi jeszcze i chyba długo nie będzie potrafił wydobyć tych subtelności, które nosi ze sobą twarz człowieka, żywego aktora, który przeżywa i my wierzymy, że on autentycznie przeżywa pewną historię, pewne emocje na ekranie. To natomiast, co nam daje AI, to że możemy, opowiadając inaczej, innym językiem, odwołując się do tradycji albo doświadczeń teoretyka kina, Kuleszowa, budować emocje poprzez kontekst. Kontekst zdarzeń, kontekst, który budowany jest za pomocą form plastycznych, za pomocą scenografii, za pomocą relacji między człowiekiem a otoczeniem. I w ten sposób możemy opowiadać troszkę inaczej, ale równie głęboko.
With the tool we are talking about, the AI, we cannot relate to the same situation as with actors because AI cannot pass the same emotion, doesn't have the same subtleties that, for example, the face of an actor can express. We cannot relate to this. But what we can do is to use it in a bit of a different way as some of the classics of the film did it back then. We can create a different context of events. We can present them in a broader way. We can use the set design and everything, I would say, around the actor.
Czyli możemy zabrać widza poprzez naszą wyobraźnię i naszą wrażliwość do innego świata, świata wymyślonego, wykreowanego, w którym możemy się zbliżyć do emocji widzów i zaprosić widza, żeby współuczestniczył w tej historii, którą opowiadamy, a nie był tylko obserwatorem cudzych emocji na ekranie. Mówię to z perspektywy reżysera, operatora, scenarzysty, który ma w dorobku ponad 250 godzin fabularnych form i zdałem sobie sprawę, że ile razy można oczekiwać od wspaniałych nawet aktorów, żeby wypełnili sobą 45 minut na ekranie. Myślę, że doszedłem do takiej refleksji, że chciałbym opowiadać inne kino, że chciałbym szukać innego języka i chciałbym, żeby widzowie nie byli obserwatorami tego, co się dzieje na ekranie, ale chciałbym, żeby się głęboko angażowali i poznali ten świat głębiej, nie tylko poprzez zdarzenia.
With this tool, we are able to invite the viewer to a journey to a totally new, different world that has been created by the tool itself and our imagination. And the main idea behind this is not to leave the spectator only as the viewer of something that he sees on a screen like it was before, but to allow him to take part in a story, live through the story. I have over 250 hours of fiction films behind my back, and what I can tell you about working with even the best actors is that relying on a single person, on an actor to capture the emotion and the emotion of the viewer for 45 or 50 minutes, is tough, and I would like to create a different kind of cinema right now.
Jesteśmy na festiwalu CAMERIMAGE. Większość z was przynajmniej wie, co to jest sztuka operatorska. Wie, co to znaczy kreowanie świata za pomocą koloru, światła, scenografii, kostiumów. Jesteście do tego przygotowani zawodowo. I wiecie, jak silne możecie wywoływać wrażenia za pomocą tych środków. Jest ich znacznie więcej, ale przez lata, ze względu na to, że produkcje filmowe były coraz droższe, zamykaliśmy się do coraz mniejszych przestrzeni, żeby opowiedzieć historię. Przerzucaliśmy w scenariuszu coraz więcej uwagi na dialog, który miał nieść emocje. Teraz to nowe narzędzie pozwala nam uwolnić się od ograniczeń. To jest jeden aspekt. Drugi, nie musimy w tej chwili przez 6-10 lat praktykować i próbować stać w kolejce, żeby zadebiutować i opowiedzieć swoją historię. Mamy narzędzie, którym możemy te rzeczy zrobić szybciej. Wszystko, czego się uczymy w zawodach filmowych, od reżyserii, psychologii, od plastyki, poprzez sztukę operatorską, kompozycję, dźwięk, pisanie scenariusza, wszystko to jest niezbędne przy realizacji i myśleniu o filmie AI. Komputer tego nie robi. Rolą realizatora, takiego twórcy, który podejmuje się opowiadania historii za pomocą AI, jest próba wejścia głęboko w empatię z widzem i próba stworzenia partytury, która na wielu płaszczyznach może działać na jego zmysły, na jego świadomość, podświadomość, pobudzać jego emocje i zamykać w jakiejś przestrzeni, umownej przestrzeni czasowej te 2 godziny po to, żeby przeżył coś znacznie odbiegającego od codzienności. I zawsze, kiedy się zastanawiałem właściwie, po co ja robię filmy, to była główna moja motywacja. Chciałbym zabrać widzów w inny wymiar, żeby mogli siebie zobaczyć świeżo, na nowo, głębiej. I po to chciałem robić filmy i dlatego próbuję to robić za pomocą AI.
Więc,
Dziękuję.
proszę Państwa, jesteśmy na festiwalu. Sorry. Go to English. We are at EnergaCAMERIMAGE Festival, so probably most of you know what cinematography is, how you can convey emotion and create the story using light, using set design, using different lenses, and using technical tools. You know how powerful it is and what you can do with it. With AI, those possibilities are even greater and go even further. Throughout the years, cinema was, of course, evolving and getting bigger and bigger, but on the contrary, we started shooting scenes in smaller and smaller spaces and started to heavily rely mostly on dialogues between actors. Now, with this new tool, we can expand again and put focus to those other elements. This is the first thing that comes to my mind. The second one is that now, if you want to debut, you don't have to wait 5 or 10 years for your debut to see the light of the day with all the things like actors and producers align. You have a tool that allows you to create something really special right now and to debut or present your vision of the world right now. Speaking of the vision of the world, my idea when it comes to cinema was always to bring the viewer, the spectator, into a world in which the person doesn't only see something, but is experiencing it on a much deeper level. And I think that with AI, it is really possible. This is my dream to start working with films on a new level with this tool.
A to tyle tylko wstępu. Po 5 miesiącach doświadczeń podzieliłem się z wami to, co dzisiaj wiem na ten temat i bardzo dziękuję.
After 5 months of working with this new technology, these are my first thoughts, and I was happy to share it with you.
Now I present examples of this show. Jarek, if you want to comment it after it, let me know.
Pokażę Państwu teraz fragmenty robocze, nie przygotowane jeszcze do broadcast, do dystrybucji. Niektóre fragmenty są bez oprawy dźwiękowej, natomiast chciałem tylko, żebyście zobaczyli, jaką drogą idziemy w sensie opowieści fabularnej i co nam się udaje albo co nam się nie udaje, żebyście mogli to ocenić na ekranie.
I want to show you some raw clips from what we are doing. They are not broadcast ready right now. Some of them are without sound or music, but I want to show you our journey and what is working and what may not be working too much.
I created something that could protect, and they closed the door on me.
Musisz tam wyjść. O, i teraz. No.
Pułkowniku! Kurwa, panie pułkowniku!
You, baseball. Linda.
Okej, bardzo dziękuję. To takie 3 fragmenciki tylko, żebyście zobaczyli, jak zaczynaliśmy, bo to jest efekt pracy sprzed 3 miesięcy. Dzisiaj są już inne narzędzia i można robić też inne efekty.
Those 3 video pieces is an example of how we were starting up about 3 months ago. Today, we have different tools and we can create different effects.
Now it's Martynian part.
Okay. Hello to everyone. My name is Martynian Rozwadowski. I'm a head of technology in Veles Productions. I'm an engineer, not an artist. I graduated electronics faculty in Warsaw like many years ago. I have like a strong experience in the broadcast industry for many years, also with virtual studios, because it was at the beginning the virtual studios were mostly in televisions. Then I jumped to Veles Productions to prepare and build from scratch our studio. What we have in Warsaw, maybe it's not so big, but it's very useful for us. It's like we have rowy wall, which is like 7.5 meters long and 3.5 meters high. But what we are doing there, we use the Gaussian technology, which allows us to produce the 3-camera live production on one video wall. It's like the subframe technology. So every camera is just gen-locked to its own feed. So we can make like 3-camera recordings or with one virtual set of separate virtual set, or for example, using the new Red Raptor X camera, we can also record on the one video wall the feed and, for example, the green screen, just to key it in post-production, for example. And what Dorota said, the whole setup of the studio, we can just move it. It's mobile. So everything is on the racks. It's redundant. So we can just pack everything to a lorry or airplane, for example, and just move it on site. And we did that kind of production. For example, we did the elections in Poland 2 years ago with this system. Just move it to the client and then just made the election. But I won't say about the technology. More, I would like to say what we are doing now, what we started doing in Veles Productions using AI in our studio. So we had many approaches from producers or directors about the visual sets and the technology that they want to use in our studio. But always the problem was with the bottleneck about preparing the virtual sets. So mostly it looks like because we are hiring an architect, like the real architect from the building industry, Jose Barbella. And so he was creating like virtual sets, block outed it, and then it went to another guy for the texture, environment, and everything. Then it comes to the client gets the feedbacks, and it takes weeks to prepare the virtual set. So we started to think about what we can, how we can fix that, and what we can achieve with AI tools. So the first, it's well-known 2.5D. Probably you met that kind of technology. It's not the 3D. You have prepare only the layers with photos or videos, and just put it in Unreal, because we are using Unreal Engine normally. And just put those two or three layers, like foreground, middle, and background, and just move the camera to have the parallax. So we hired the Nano Banana to do that. I just prepared the huge prompt just to allow the Gemini to, because this is the Google tool for AI, to understand what I want to achieve with this 2.D. So if it understands what I want to achieve, it generated me for example, the airport, which is very hard to for shot, yeah, for preparation, whatever, and for example for preparing it in Unreal in a very good quality. So when I generated those like two photos in Nano Banana, I haven't even upscaled it. It was like HD generated. So I put it in Unreal and just make a shot. So this is from my phone. So the camera is on a crane. So as you can see, the quality of course is not 3D. So it can be used for a specific shots, but still, if you want to achieve like a parallax or something, it's probably good enough, and it's very fast for prototyping, for showing something to client, just to record like some examples for pre-production. And but of course, this is the only like the first step of this, where I can say, change. The second is, of course, the scanning. Photogrammetry is well known in the film industry. It's okay. It's you can just go with a lot of rigs with the cameras and scan something. Then you need to put it in reality capture or something to compute the meshes and everything. But what has changed is the camera from the X-Grid. It's called the Portal Cam. It costs like $5,000, and you can just scan everything with only this camera with quality that it's very good, and it's directly uploading the feed to the cloud, and it's just making the Gaussian splats. Can I switch to other computer? Because I want to show you, because I have opened here the example splat from X-Grid. So as you can see, this is the scanned apartment. Here we can see also the scanning path. So it's like the path that the operator just was going with the camera. So I'm not like selling X-Grids or something. There are many companies that are doing the scanning process. In Poland, there is Andrzej Szramko, which is, I don't know if you know him, but he's very good in the scanning and Gaussian splats. Of course, there's Łukasz Mirocha. To be honest, in Poland, we have like an avant-garde of Gaussian splats, and I'm proud of that, and I'm proudly using it because it's very good. Okay, can we switch back to the presentation? Thank you. Yeah, so I have it on my laptop, so then you can see how it looks. But here we have the Gaussian splats, but what if we could generate the splats from prompt? And this what happened exactly 1 month ago. There is it was a beta preview of the tool called Marble, and provided by the company which is called World Labs. And to be honest, when we first opened this tool, also we needed to register. Now, from Monday, it's like on it's even not the closed beta, but it's officially. So you can just log in and you can create the splats from prompt or from a reference image. And at the first, when I use it, it was like, okay, it generates me the underground station based on a reference image from Warsaw Underground. And I said, maybe it's not so good or something, but maybe it's good for, I don't know, from Previs or whatever. But then I passed this tool to our designer, Jose Barbeya, and he started to creating like fabulous things. So we decided, of course, to test this on our video wall, because it's we have this privilege to prepare it. So as you can see, it was like, he just sit down and produce like 2 or I don't know, 5 Gaussian splats, and we imported it to Unreal Engine. I will show you later because I have those splats in Unreal Engine, and put it in like on a video wall. So the main problem, of course, it was the performance. But we are using the Volinga plugin for Unreal Engine, and it's very good about the performance because there are many plugins to load the Gaussian splats into Unreal Engine. But Volinga, in my opinion, is the best one, and it's very cheap. So as you can see, there are. This is only imported Gaussian splats. So probably this laundry we can make it in Unreal, make the like some kind of wind at the environment, because what you can do, you can mix it with, for example, photogrammetry scans in Unreal Engine in 3D, add the like, I don't know, rain or whatever. So, but still, it is raw Gaussian splats produced by World Labs and imported to Unreal Engine and just connected to video wall and camera. So, as we saw that it looks promising, we had the opportunity to record a music video on that, and I believe, and I think this is the first like commercial usage of not the Gaussian splats, but the Gaussian splats produced by AI probably in the world. We shot this video 2 weeks ago. It was like an indie production because everything we did internally, like the lights and everything. Of course, the virtual set and scenography. But we did it with one designer, the Jose Barbella, with one on-set Unreal Engine generalist, because he needed to edit a little bit the splat and maybe add some props and lighting. And one engineer. And it took us like less than 3 days to prepare everything. So it speeds up the process. Even the final, there are many, we can talk about it later, many like problems with the splats, even with the Volinga renderer, because those tools are very, very new, so it's normal that we have like many problems during the recordings. But it speeds up the process like for many times to prepare it, to show to the director, to the artist, and then come back and I don't know, change something or change virtual set totally, because it generates, and it took like 10 seconds to generate the whole environment. So there is a video here, but I don't know if I can just play a little bit. There is the artist called Nachos. She's very like young Polish artist. What we also used in this video, we used the set extension technology. So there was another engine that just added the second layer behind the video wall, because if you add it, and we add it in real time, so those robots and the scenography which is behind the wall, like it's added in real time. Oh. And of course, we added the establishing shots in VO3. Robots were recorded. We have also the motion capture studio, so we added the robots, recorded animation and added robots also in real time. So the main thing was that, to be honest, at the end of the day, we had like more or less ready video. And here we use like 3 or 4 virtual assets. So normally it will be impossible to prepare it in 3 days. Like even with this quality. And next week we have, like, to be honest, the oh no, I'll just go forward. The second project, which was more demanding, but it was based on the same tools. So we had a project of preparing of the housewife. It's like the title of the movie that is in development. But the company ZPR Media, which is in the same media group than the Veles Productions, we started to develop a trailer for this movie in development. So of course, normally there is no money for preparing that kind of trailer because it's like, you know, it's expensive. So we had a scenario. We did in the same way as I described it, using Marble AI. We needed to prepare 4 scenes, and it also takes like one designer. It takes like six days for one designer to go to prepare the scene, then go to director and to DOP, and then come back and change something. Of course, changing in AI, it's not that easy, because it's not like you just, okay, everything is good, but you need to just put this chair not here, but here. It's like generates the new scene and everything. So there are many problems with that kind of stuff. But still, we use one designer, we use one on-set Unreal Engine generalist, and one engineer. And we did everything in one shooting day. It takes about 6 days for preparation to shot the. Something's happened. Probably I'll need it to. Put it once again. Yeah. Can I have the presentation on the monitor? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Martynian forgot to add that also in all of those production were involved production manager and actors.
Yeah, of course. Of course, I'm talking about the technical side. Of course, yeah, there was a problem with Canva, so now we are going back.
And after our presentation, we invite you on a Q&A session. If you have any question, we will be happy to answer.
Yeah, I will just, yeah. I will just go to the slide because it's like the last slide. Or last two, because I would like to say, to show what are of course, the problems with the, because on the second shot, we just cooperated with like the DOP, like professional DP, professional director. We shot it on with the ARRI Alexa Minicam on our video wall. And of course, there were many problems with the splats and the virtual set, but we managed to do that, to shot everything in one day. To be honest, without any problem, like big technological problem or issues. So yeah. So we prepared four virtual sets. We used 3 of them. As you can see, there was the interiors are looking good, like the kitchen or something. I will show you them later. But exteriors, sometimes we have many problems, especially with perspective, for example. But what I wanted to show you, I would like to show you the trailer. And then we can just go to Q&A, and of course I can show you those splats in Unreal Engine and how they look like.
I pewna kura domowa ma marzenie.
This is made with VO3.
Jadę na Antarktydę.
Gdzie? Na Antarktydę?
Nie przejmuj się nimi. Dasz radę. Leć. Gdzieś mi sobie poradzę.
To jest minus 40 stopni!
Przecież tego chciałaś. Dasz radę.
A jak dzieci? Radzicie sobie?
No jasne, jasne, no.
Halo! Wodek!
Wszystko jest w porządku.
Kocham cię.
Ja ciebie też.
Kura domowa na Antarktydzie. Niesamowita i wzruszająca historia oparta na faktach.
Yeah, the scenario is based on a real story of the housewife that climbed the highest mountain on Antarctica in 1993. So,
Jest rok ma marzenie.
once again, maybe not. So, to be honest, normally we'll just don't do that kind of trailer, but thanks to those tools, we just lower down the cost production, yeah, just because of the Unreal Engine sets and everything. And of course, we added the VO3 shots for this Hercules. Of course, there is like the mountain, and I don't know if you noticed, because there was a frozen river there near the mountain. There is no rivers in Antarctica, of course. No one noticed that. I noticed that when I was preparing this presentation, but it gives you many from engineer side from production side. It makes many new opportunities to make new kind of productions.
I just want to add that from production side, this is the cost-efficient way to present the idea of the movie, for example. So this could be very interesting tool for producers. So also, if there are any producers, I will be happy to connect so we can exchange the experience. And now I invite you to make questions. If there are any, we will be happy to answer.
And can we switch to other computers? So I'll show you how it looks in Unreal Engine. Yeah, of course, this is the kitchen. So this is the kitchen when you go outside. As you can see, this Unreal Engine is point of cloud. So when you go inside the kitchen, the Volinga is just only the watermark because of using the Volinga plugin. But when you go even closer, as you can see here, there are some artifacts, maybe a little bit, but probably they are unnoticeable on video wall, especially when you shoot in a distance from video wall. But to be honest, it's like that kind of quality. It's good, and this is the beginning of this tool. So I'm waiting what will be in a half year. Probably it will get more and more more realistic, of course. So I will just switch to this alley that I would like to show you also. Yeah, this is the alley. So this was the first splat that we just pushed to video wall. And to be honest, when I saw, of course, if you go here, you can see that the bricks are like irregular or something. But still, as you saw on the video, it was when you have the depth of field and you can just move it a little bit or something, or make it like out of focus. It makes the of course, when you go with another, it's very funny because it also generates the backwards. So when you change the perspective, of course, there are some like fuzzy things on the screen, but still it's good. And there's also the corridor for this sci-fi music video. Sometimes you need to wait a little bit to. So here's the corridor. And I would like to show you, because we at during the shooting we decided to just move from the 3D to plates with this exterior, because there was a huge problem with perspective. So in interiors, it looks quite good. It generates quite good Gaussian splats. But for exterior, you can see as I move with the camera, it's like this. So we couldn't set up it with a good perspective. So we decided to make it in like 2.5D. We just make the print screen and like upscale it and put on the video wall, because it was no time to fix it. And the director has also requests during the shootings, so it was also kind of a problem for us from engineer's side. But it looks like this. As you can see, it's impossible to do such a scenography in Unreal Engine, like even if you have like 1 month, because it won't be in that kind of photogrammetry level. Like I'm talking about the lights and I'm talking about the feeling that you are looking on a real set, not like game-ish set, of course, because sometimes people are saying that everything from Unreal, it looked like game, not like a real set. But thanks to those tools, we are going to be more realistic in Unreal Engine. And it's very fast. Questions?
Hello, hi. So I have a question to the first speaker, the director, so I will ask it in Polish if I can. Więc tak, przede wszystkim doceniam możliwości, które daje nam teraz AI, ale mam taką refleksję, że mnie w reżyserii najbardziej daje radość właśnie praca z aktorem żywym i szukanie tych małych niuansów i cały ten proces. I też właśnie pan wspomniał, że w tym momencie AI nie daje nam tych drobiazgów, które potem tworzą te jakości i emocje. Może nawet jeśli zaraz już będzie taka możliwość, to nadal nie będzie miało ludzkiego aspektu. I chciałam się spytać o pana doświadczenie. Teraz jak pan pracował przy tym projekcie, który został nam zaprezentowany, czy nie miał pan przemyśleń względem braku tego ludzkiego czynnika, który jest jednak nieprzewidywalnością, którą ja osobiście uwielbiam i lubię w tej pracy? Pytanie, jakie jest pana doświadczenie i opinia?
The question was about a lack of a human factor when working with artificial intelligence. Does our director, does he misses this human element of working with an actor, taking those nuances out of an actor and making him present them on screen? The AI doesn't give us that. What are our director's thoughts on this topic?
Samo obcowanie z ludźmi, zwłaszcza utalentowanymi, ludźmi wrażliwymi, daje ogromną przyjemność. Asystowałem reżyserom, którzy przygotowywali spektakl teatralny na scenie, gdzie kontakt z aktorem jest bardzo intensywny. Nawet nie ma kamery, nie robimy filmu, tylko praca z drugim człowiekiem jest fantastyczna. Ale problem polega na tym, że nie zawsze ta praca polega na tym, żebyśmy my byli zadowoleni jako twórcy. Z samego procesu tworzenia. Każdy akt twórczy to jest ogromne poświęcenie czasu, energii, stresów i sam proces tworzenia to jest zawsze okupiony jakimś wysiłkiem, który czasami jest nie do opisania.
Just being with another person, especially a talented one, is a huge pleasure. As a director, I was an assistant to directors, for example, in theater, working with actors just face to face, even without cameras. And this was a magical feeling. But for me, I think that the act of creating shouldn't only satisfy us as the creators. We have to think above that. And every creation act is connected with hard work.
Dla przykładu, znamy filmy Pixara, które są filmami, gdzie zespół ludzi ze sobą pracuje, ale nie ma kontaktu z aktorem, bo aktorzy są oczywiście powołani do życia jako pewne symbole, pewne charaktery. Nie mamy kontaktu z aktorem. Mamy filmy Disneya, które były robione klasycznie, gdzie praca z aktorem, owszem, była, ale potem tworzenie już animacji było zupełnie w innym momencie, na czym innym polegało. Jeżeli robimy jakąś projekcję, co my chcemy właściwie osiągnąć na ekranie, używając narzędzi AI, musimy wyjść troszkę szerzej. Poza tylko bezpośrednią pracę z aktorem, nie na aktorze opierać cały film, tylko film jako taki może być, jest zbudowany z wielu warstw i świadomość tych warstw przy tworzeniu daje szansę opowiedzenia innej historii. To, co mówiłem wcześniej. Nie jesteśmy tylko widzami, którzy podziwiają znakomity performance aktora, ale wchodzimy w pewien świat głębiej i rezonujemy z tym obrazem, który jest na ekranie. To jest troszkę inne doświadczenie. Wydaje mi się, nie jestem pewien tego, ale wydaje mi się, że to, co oferuje AI, daje możliwość tworzenia bardziej komplementarnych utworów wykorzystujących język kina, a nie odwołujących się tylko do sztuki aktorskiej, która jest niezbędna przy niektórych gatunkach filmowych, niektórych sposobach opowiadania, ale są takie historie, których się nie da zaadaptować tylko za pomocą aktorów. Przypomnijmy sobie taki film Stanleya Kubricka, Odyseja 2001. To nie aktorstwo niosło ten film przez lata i do dzisiaj jest uważany za arcydzieło. Zabrał nas Kubrick w jakąś podróż, gdzie doświadczyliśmy zupełnie innej świadomości tego, czym jest człowiek versus komputer versus uniwersum. I wydaje mi się, że sztuczna inteligencja jako narzędzie daje nam możliwość przekroczenia tej bariery oczywistych zdarzeń, które są przed kamerą, które są świetne czasami, wspaniałe, ale możemy pójść dalej, inną drogą. To jest jakby inny kierunek kina.
There are already examples of films created in the way I am talking about with artificial intelligence. For example, Pixar films, you have a group of people working together on a film, but they are not working with an actor because the actor is being generated. The same thing could be divided to a Disney films back in the day. They were also people working together, but the character was being created by animation. What I want to say and what thrills me about working with AI is a possibility not to rely so heavily on the actor himself or herself, not to put the whole performance in the actor's hand, because, for example, we need to realize that the film is being created on so many different levels, like the visual storytelling and the whole world created by us, and AI gives us this possibility. For example, let's look at Odyssey 2001 by Kubrick. It is not, for me, it is not an actor's film. You remember it not because of the actor's performances, but because of the world created by the director and the whole atmosphere. What I want to achieve with AI is to invite the viewer inside the story, not to only be the viewer, the spectator, but a kind of a person who is really into the scene, and this is what thrills me in it. It's not perfect for all scenarios, but there are some films, as you can imagine, that you cannot rely so heavily on an actor. There are some stories that need a different approach, and I think that AI gives us this different approach for some films and some creative ideas.
Okay, hello. I have a question. When creating work with AI, how complicated the prompts must be, and also how much time it takes to get exactly what you want when working with AI, and what are the, if you encounter any problems with that, so how, like is it hard to work with AI, and how the prompts must be?
So if you maybe if we are working with, for example, me with Marble AI and Jose Barbella, the prompts are not so long. They are maybe like 50 words, like around. So so it's not complicated, but you've asked about the final. The final is always a guess. Yep, because it's not. It's sometimes you just have a prompt and it just generates things, especially in Marble AI, and then you just, of course, you can reprompt it or just change something, but mostly it's you take what you get from Marble. So it's like very difficult to tell when is the time that you are satisfied with the prompt. Of course, we are delivering it to director and he or DOP, and he has the last word.
Jarek, could you add your perspective as an artist, because you also prompt a lot?
Podstawowy problem to jest emocje tych postaci, które są generowane na ekranie i zachowanie kontynuacji.
The biggest problem for me is in terms of emotions of the characters we see on the screen that have been generated by AI and keeping the continuation.
Dla przykładu, w pracy klasycznej z aktorem zdarza się tak, że robimy 10-15 dubli, żeby aktor zaproponował reakcję taką, jaką my, jako reżyser, powiedzmy, chcemy użyć potem w przyszłym filmie do zmontowania. 15 dubli. To dlaczego ten aktor musi 15 razy coś zagrać? Problemy techniczne, niedoskonałość sprzętu, jego dekoncentracja, ale też i troszkę inny koloryt.
When you work in a traditional way with an actor, usually it takes around 10 to 15 takes or doubles for the actor to deliver the performance that we as director want. There are many reasons for that. Sometimes it's technical problems, sometimes it's a problem within the actor, a mistake he makes, but with every continuation, the actor is like proposing something a bit different, something a bit new, but there is continuity within it.
Doświadczenie w pracy z żywymi ludźmi, z aktorami jest bezcenne też w pracy z tą maszyną liczącą, ponieważ ona generuje jakieś reakcje i odpowiada na nasze potrzeby. My chcemy, żeby uzyskać jakiś efekt od tej postaci, która jest wygenerowana, i nie możemy wprost prosić, czy też zwracać się o uzyskanie pewnego efektu. Tak samo jak do aktora nie mówimy: zagraj przestraszonego, ty się w tej scenie boisz, no bo to będzie karykaturalne. Tak samo robiąc ujęcie z postacią, która jest generowana przez komputer, nie możemy wprost promptować: wygeneruj mi człowieka, który się boi, bo to będzie żałosne.
This experience of working with a real actor is extremely useful when you work with AI, because in both cases you cannot be super direct. For example, I cannot tell the actor act scary and just that, because what I will receive from that is maybe a creature of a performance. And the same happens with this machine. I call it like a big calculator. They give us what we want from them, but I cannot be too direct, because the result will not be satisfying.
I can throw in as well something additionally to working with AI. So I'm working normally with this human recording, but I'm using AI for coding. I'm normally really like a non-technical artistic DOP. I'm not this kind of codec freak or whatever, but when I'm dealing with this kind of new recording format, because it's so kind of a new field, a lot of tools are not yet existing, data management is not existing, and so I sit at home and I'm coding with AI, and there the way of coding is that I'm telling it what I need. I'm like, okay, I have here a stream of images, and the stream of images are in a certain folder, and I need to have the certain folder and the stream of images who are named like this separated in several hundred thousands of subfolders, and I'm describing what is my issue, what I have to handle the data of this. I'm recording with 10x 4K parallel on on my computer, and then I'm taking all this data and I'm spreading it analogically, like I'm doing all the coding by natural work, talking to the AI. So, and it's very slow. It invents stuff what is not existing. I have the issue that I had to use reality capture to make to find the camera positions, and then you want to script reality capture with an AI, because I'm not a coder, I'm not used to it. So I'm telling him what it does. I'm giving him the entire catalog of codes he can use, and still he invent commands what are not existing in the catalog. So it's a lot of back and forth and trying and error, but it's possible even when you are not a technical person or not coder, computer freak whatsoever. If you can explain to the AI what you need, you can deal with data management and handle this kind of complex shooting material.
Skoro można po polsku, to pozwolę sobie skorzystać z tej okazji. I tutaj mam właśnie pytanie dotyczące tej kontynuacji. Często trzeba wykonać dziesiątki, jeśli nie setki prób, żeby 2-3 ujęcia się ze sobą montowały. I na dłuższą metę generuje to ogromne koszty, często nieopłacalne. I czy macie jakieś doświadczenie z modelami odpalanymi lokalnie na własnym sprzęcie, gdzie ogranicza nas bardziej czas, ale już nie koszt generowania kolejnego klipu? Dziękuję.
The question to all of our guests is connected with this continuity. As we say, you need to prompt many times to get the answer that you wanted in the first place, and I think that this may generate very heavy costs. Do you have any experience with like local work that the only limiting factor is the time and not the money and the costs it generates?
In our company, mostly we are using for video prompts. We are using Kling and VO3. There are too large models to set them locally. Of course, we are cooperating with Google, but we need to pay for that. But of course, the biggest problem is that you need to train yourself with the output. Probably Jarek can tell more about that. But it took us, to be honest, a lot of money to train us and our prompt engineers to how to use those tools.
Thank you very much. The time is limited. We can stay here, but we have to finish the meeting. But we are here for you if you want. We can talk private. Thank you.